to go live
Good.
stream.
Nice to see you. Nice to see you. How are you? Thank you. Thank you.
Kayla, I don't know what to say.
Wait, you're in the mic.
I know I am.
Live stream.
You haven't started yet.
Do I? I will take that as a compliment.
It is a compliment. It is.
Yeah, it's nice. Isn't it? The shade. It's warm today.
Yes.
I think it is. We could get started. Everything good? Everything? Huh?
Oh, you're fine, sir. You just point this towards you so we can hear you better. There you go.
Okay.
Thanks, sir.
Okay. Sure. Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us this afternoon for a special presentation. I greatly appreciate. There are chairs here, but if you could come, it look a little more full. So please take your seats. I will begin recognizing the Exchange Club of Fort Bend, Child Advocates of Fort Bend, our dedicated law enforcement partners, and all our community who work tirelessly to protect our children. It is an honor to stand with us as we mark the beginning of Child Abuse Prevention Month here in Fort Bend County, which has been a tradition. Thank you, sir. Thank you, John Healy, and many other people working behind the scene. And as you can see behind me, today we dedicated this field with 2,075 blue ribbon white stakes. Each represent a child who received service from Child Advocates of Fort Bend last year, 2024. These ribbons are more than a symbol. They represent real children whose lives have been impacted by abuse and negatively, I should say, and vital support they have received from an incredible network of advocates and professionals. Fort Bend County remain committed, doing everything in our power to prevent child abuse and support survivors. We are proud to work alongside with organizations like Child Advocates of Fort Bend and law enforcement agencies who lead the effort with compassion, strength, and determination. With us here joining us today is Jill Curtis, board chair of Child Advocates of Fort Bend County, who will make brief remarks, and I will invite you to make your remarks. Thank you. Please come up.
Thank you. As I have already been introduced, I am Jill Curtis, the board chair of Child Advocates this year. And I apologize if I'm a little bit redundant to a few of his remarks, but they bear saying because we can't say some of these things enough. I'm very happy to be here tonight as we bring attention and hope to the children who have been abused. April Month, and tonight we kick off the month to bring attention to the tragedy of child abuse. I don't know if you're aware, but there are 1 in 6 children who will be abused by the time they're 18 years old. This awareness field tribute to the 2,075 children who were abused or neglected just this past year in Fort Bend County and had received services by Child Advocates. There are many, many more children, perhaps thousands more, who are being abused but have still not told anyone, and they're suffering immensely. It will take all of us here and so many others across our community to come together in unity to end the tragedy of child abuse. The national symbol for child abuse awareness is the blue ribbon. This began when a grandmother in Virginia named Bonnie Finney she learned that her grandson had died because he was beaten. In her grief, she tied a blue ribbon on the antenna of her car as a symbol and a signal to everyone in her community as an awareness. Over the years, the blue ribbon and the color blue have been used across the country and the world to bring attention, resources, advocacy, and services to abused children. Our mission at Child Advocates is to strengthen the voice of these children so they don't fall through the cracks, to heal their hurt, and to break the cycle of abuse so that we can prevent children across our county from being abused.
Thank you. At this time, we are also joined by the president of Exchange Club of Fort Bend County, William Levitt. Please come forward, sir. Make your remarks.
Good afternoon. Thank you very much for all of you for being here. Thank you for your remarks. It's a pleasure to have you, Jill. I feel like she said everything that I was going to say, and then some, and I feel so ill-prepared. But we do want to thank all of our volunteers. A great job. It's a sad beauty that each of those represents what it does. That it's a beautiful presentation, but we wish that we could remove them and say that we did not have the problem that we have. We do want to thank the first responders, the legal, the county and city attorneys who work so hard in prosecuting, and all of the volunteers who give up their time, their talents, and their energy to see that many cases do not get that far, and that we avoid some tragedies. Hopefully these efforts do not go in vain in the future, that those tragedies will be averted, and we can make some progress even though we're a growing area. Again, I thank KP George, everybody for being here. It's a pleasure to be working alongside each and every one of you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. It is through partnership like this we build a stronger and safer community for our children. And I'd like to invite, is somebody from Sheriff's Office? No. Okay, now I will invite the Fort Bend County District Attorney, the top prosecutor in Fort Bend County, to make his remarks.
You know, it was 1998, and I started in that building right there across the street. I was a young assistant district attorney. Sitting right there, John Healy, and co-worker Martin. We were proud. We were passionate. Good to be a prosecutor. We had an opportunity to do justice and to stand up to bullies. And during that, some priorities. And that was the protection of our most vulnerable, and that's children and women. And I've carried on that tradition as district attorney. And as we stand here and we look at these neatly lined stakes and blue ribbons, just like you said, it's sad, but beautiful. It represents a child who was abused. And we know in law enforcement, this is only a fraction of those that have been abused. So I appreciate everyone's attendance. And this month, when we raise awareness about child abuse, and I'm looking at you, and I just got to make a remark about Alicia Curtis, who's now our chief for intake, but so many convictions, so many trials Alicia had. So we will continue to work, and I'm looking at Bridget helping with CPS, but we all work together to try to eradicate this in our community. So thank everyone for being here, and let's this month raise awareness so we can prevent harm in our community and protect the child. Thank you.
Thank you. At this time, I will invite our Fort Bend County Attorney, Bridget Mislos.
Good evening, everyone. It's good to see everyone here on this occasion. As I look at the stakes with the blue ribbons, I can think back on the hundreds, if not thousands, of cases that I personally touched as a CPS litigator for many years. And I see my family law staff here who are still on the front lines representing Child Protective Services as they save children. These ribbons and the stakes are real faces and images for me. I think about the child fatalities that I have been involved with, the autopsies of dead children. I think about the victims that we were able to remove to get to forever homes, being adopted, and hopefully riding off into the sunset of what would be a more beautiful childhood and a productive adulthood. And I think about all of the partners that it takes for us to have on board in fighting child abuse.
Yeah.
The lawyers,
No, actually,
the doctors, the social workers. Child abuse. It's not just us who are gathered here for this small gathering, but it's everyone in the community. It is their business. It is all of our business. Children who are harmed become adults who are likely to harm and offend. We call it recidivism because they then have families that fall back into the same systems of child welfare and criminal justice, and we have to put a stop at it. And this month is a small representation of what we should be doing every month to make child abuse awareness something that we talk about, something that we educate people about, and that's something that we're vigilant to fight. We have to make sure that child abuse awareness is not just the business of us who are gathered, but the business of our community, our state, and our nation. Thank you all for all of your efforts in fighting child abuse. And one day, hopefully, this field will be empty. But until then, we'll keep the fight. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Bridget. As County Judge, I'm proud to officially proclaim April as Child Abuse Prevention Month in Fort Bend County. I would like to invite Shanika Smith, Chief of Staff, to my office. Please come and read the proclamation.
Thank you, Judge. As I get ready to read the proclamation, I want to have all of you that just spoke come up and stand next to me as I present this to Jill with Child Advocates. From the Office of the County Judge, Fort Bend County, Texas, the proclamation reads as such. Whereas the month of April is nationally recognized as Child Abuse Prevention Month, a time dedicated to raising awareness about child abuse and neglect and encouraging communities to take proactive steps to protect the safety and well-being of all children. And whereas preventing child abuse is a community responsibility and every adult has both a moral and legal obligation to report suspected abuse or neglect to the proper authorities. Failure to do so is not only a failure to protect a child, but is punishable offense under Texas law. And whereas Fort Bend County is grateful for the enduring partnerships between governmental agencies and nonprofit organizations that work tirelessly to prevent, investigate, and treat cases of child abuse, including the Child Advocates of Fort Bend, the Department of Family and Protective Services, the Fort Bend County Attorney's Office, Fort Bend County law enforcement agencies, and the Fort Bend County District Attorney's Office. And whereas these partnerships, bolstered by the ongoing support and funding provided by the Fort Bend County Commissioner's Court, help to ensure that 2,075 children in our community receive life-changing services through Child Advocates of Fort Bend in 2024 alone. And whereas today's dedication ceremony and awareness efforts serve as a potent reminder that child abuse is preventable, and that by standing together as a united community, we can protect our children and build a brighter future for all. Now therefore be it resolved that KP George, Fort Bend County Judge of Fort Bend County, Texas, do by here recognize on this 31st day of March 2025 the Awareness Field to recognize the vital importance of child protection, to remain vigilant in reporting suspected abuse, and to support the courageous work of those who advocate for the most vulnerable among us, our children. Now I present this proclamation from Judge George to child advocates Jill Curtis.
You could go in the front, maybe get a picture. Please come, please come. Let's move it to this, yeah. Please come, let's get a picture. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Smiles. You all look great. Thank you so much.
Thank you so
Thank you
much.
very
Thank
much.
you, thank you,
Thank you.
thank
I
you, thank you.
appreciate it.
Absolutely, absolutely. Let this proclamation be a reminder that the safety and well-being of our children is a responsibility we all share, and one we must never take lightly, and we will continue to engage in all this conversation we just had here so that we could protect our children. Let's honor the resilience of the children represented in this field, and let the stories inspire us to continue fighting for future free from abuse for our children who happen to be our future. Together, we can be their voice, shield, and hope. And thanks again for everyone for being here and your unwavering support and commitment in this cause. And I just wanted to say I'm so thankful we come together for this purpose, and we will continue to work together. But the shame is we still have 2,075 known cases in Fort Bend County, and we are one of the most educated community, and so definitely we have a lot of work to do. And also, what is that, 1 in 6 get reported? So that means how many we never even heard or known, we never know. So I just wanted to say once again, thank you for all of you and your hard work, and we will continue to fight to end this pretty much a shame on our society. And God bless you all. Thank you.
One comment.
Please.
I just don't want to pass up the opportunity. It's a small group, but it's an impactful group. We have one of our major fundraisers coming up this month, and I just wanted to plug it a little bit. On April the 26th at the Sugarland Marriott, we have our gala. And many of you I know have been in attendance, and I hope to see you there again. It's always a very fun event. This year's theme is the movie Inside Out, which I didn't even see until last night, but it's an absolute perfect fit for what we do. And it's going to be a fun night, and we're hoping to raise a lot of money because, as we all know, we have a lot of needs. So I just encourage you to come and have a good time.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. That concludes our presentation. Yeah, I thought.